You can't tell me. What? Pregnancy?
OZ14, a man who is a mystery to most people, even after being on the internet and showing his face for 11 long years. There's still very little known about him, with his name, his motives, and most of his information still remaining hidden, and next to nothing on the internet having any connection to himself. No one really knows if his content nowadays is a satire gesture to far more views, or if something serious has happened to him and he's actually putting himself in a vulnerable position to be taken advantage of by hundreds of thousands of people online. His online presence started way back in 2012, where he started off making videos about how to supposedly save money on fuel, or how to get free gas with Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and Walmart methods. Obviously, all of them were incredibly fake. You could easily see that in the videos, and his comment section let him know exactly what people thought about him for sharing fake information. People would say he's a no-life that's desperate for views, he's a pathetic liar, and that if anyone actually believed what he was talking about, they should be embarrassed. These videos would carry on for 6 long years, from 2012 to 2018, before he eventually got bored of lying through his teeth and spreading false claims. His next area of interest for his YouTube channel would be American football at both college and pro level. He was clearly a huge football fan at the time, and made videos mainly about Jalen Hurts, Nick Saban, Alabama, how American football is rigged in his opinion, and rants on either a specific team, the industry as a whole, or certain players. Looking back through the videos, I'm genuinely not sure if he was an Alabama supporter or hater, considering he used to make so many videos about them. He would have a handful of them saying how Jalen Hurts was their saving grace, and how they'd occasionally surprise him, but the majority of his videos would be conspiring about how they've rigged college football, poisoned college football forever, and how they haven't appreciated any good players that have been in their hands. Yet, regardless of that, he'd always keep tabs on them because of the connection with his favourite player, as you could have guessed by doing a quick scroll through his videos, is Jalen Hurts.
I'm done. I'm not gonna come on here every stinking week and cry like a little baby for Jalen Hurts to get in the game. They can't even beat Cincinnati, man. They can't even beat Cincinnati, dude. They can't even beat Joe Burrow. You know, I'm not no damn Philadelphia fan. I get emotional because I'm a Jalen Hurts fan, dude. That's what y'all gotta understand. I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. And they won't play it. They won't play Jalen. They won't play it.
People began to quickly realise that Oz was just becoming a huge football troll, saying the wildest takes and purposely trying to start arguments with die-hard supporters in return for more comments, more views, and more attention. He had clear biases on teams, organisations, or officials, even leading him to create at least 50 20-minute plus videos on either Nick Saban or Tua, and was just being a nuisance to people more than making them bite on his takes. A big difference between his content nowadays compared to the stuff he used to make before TikTok is that in his old videos, he'd talk clearly, be able to form entire sentences, and show a range of different emotions. Compare that to now, and he's nothing like that, which is ringing some alarm bells for concern to his new audience. Whether he has a medical condition or anything similar is again completely unknown, just like pretty much everything to do with him. Oz doesn't have Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. They are all linked to old accounts that haven't been used in years, or simply just don't exist anymore. And if you search any of his handles on the internet, next to nothing appears. The only places he's active on nowadays are TikTok and YouTube, and his content is completely, and I mean completely different to anything football related. After claiming he was done with anything football related because he fell out of love with the game, the officiating with certain teams was frustrating him too much, and as a whole, the game was making him upset because money seemed to be the only motivator, meaning the richer teams would just get better and better.
This is my last video on YouTube. I'm not gonna make any more after this. This is my last official video about Alabama, about Nick Saban, about their program, about their stupid fans. I'm sick of making these videos. I got too much passion to sit around and watch college football be ruined.
Oz took a 3-year break from his YouTube journey and went off the grid entirely. Whatever happened in these 3 years, no one is aware of, but once Oz came back to social media, he wasn't the person people had seen back in 2020. He returned back to TikTok in July 2023 with a video of himself pretty much breaking the speakers on his phone with the pure power of his shouting. The videos that followed would be him replying to comments left by viewers, then somehow making himself cry on demand, and being pretty much inaudible for the rest of the duration of the video.
What do you look? Like
In other videos that he makes, he claims to be a time traveler and writes in his comments that anyone who sends hate is fueling his time traveling abilities. His YouTube return would appear to be much later in the year than the creation of his TikTok account. He began re-uploading his TikTok videos on YouTube in early December, but it looks like none of his long-term viewers who were with him while he was creating football content even saw the new version of Oz. Don't get me wrong, in his last football video, he showed a lot of emotion, but these TikTok videos seemed different. With the football ones, he had a personal reason to be emotional, whether that be his team losing the Super Bowl, losing one of their best players, or something along those lines. Even when crying, you could still make out what he was saying, and he'd be able to make multiple talking points. However, with the TikTok videos, he would have tears streaming down his face if someone commented something like, "You look like Taylor Swift," and would struggle to even read the comment in a 1-minute long video.
Taylor Swift. Oh my God. I'm not a woman. I'm not a woman. I'm not a woman. I'm a man.
Making people concerned that he might have experienced psychological distress during his 3-year hiatus from YouTube and watching sport, because there was no denying that Oz seemed and acted like a different person entirely. There's no explanation anywhere as to if anything has happened to Oz physically or mentally, so it's just all speculation for now, as the reason for him to start acting like an entirely new person all of a sudden. There's also no explanation for why he decided to return to both YouTube and TikTok, meaning pretty much everything regarding Oz's lifestyle, mindset, and health still remains a mystery. Bearing in mind he has almost 1 million followers on TikTok, it seems like he's never spoken to any of these followers directly, since he still receives tons of comments asking other viewers if anyone knows his situation, if he needs help, or if there's something serious that's happened. None of Oz's videos tend to make any sense whatsoever. In fact, he made 3 10-minute long videos describing how he came up with his name, linking it to the Wizard of Oz, how he's a grand wizard, and some other things that I couldn't quite make out in the video.
Oh. for Oz. I'm gonna tell you folks a story about how I became OZ14.
His videos regarding time travelling are linked to Coke cans and their calories, saying that Coca-Cola didn't have calories until 2035, which is the year he's currently living in. This is then followed up by him screaming down the phone, straining his body, and crying once again.
Time traveler.
His story still remains rather unknown, but I'm just not sure how it's remained this way for all this time. He appears to be one of the biggest mysteries on social media as of right now, with no one knowing just when everything will come to light.